All this right here is the result of 90-minute massage and 90-minute reflexology. You guys, it was not even $20. I'm not gonna even ask questions, okay? This is just how it is here, and I'm just gonna roll with it, okay? But it was really good. I went back to the same place, Lotus Reflexology and Massage Spa at the mall, Indonesia, here in Jakarta. And I went back to my girl Wendy. She's been hooking me up. She's really good. She gave me her phone number, and we talked. She told me about her family, and she asked me questions, and she wants me to go with her to do some karaoke. And she's got this really funny coworker slash friend, Adele. I'll have to get some footage of him. He is a trip. And yeah, it was really cool. I wasn't planning to do a 3-hour massage today. I really wasn't. But come on, I mean, right after I was done with the reflexology part, a room opened up for like a full body massage, and she asked me, like, did I want one? I'm like, all right, it's like $7.50. Sure. So it was really good. So I'm doing great. It's been my 10-year, not 10 year, maybe 10 year, who knows? No, 10 day. It's been my 10-day anniversary here in Indonesia, and things are going really well. I had a chance to finally start teaching and meeting my students, and that was really cool. Where to begin? Okay, so my students are all Korean, and they're either were born in Korea and then came to America. Okay, I'm all over the place here. Born in Korea and then came to Indonesia, or they are first generation Korean Indonesians. So a lot of their fathers mostly, maybe work for, I know Samsung is here. I believe that's a Korean company, and some other companies. So a lot of them, came here because their father took a job here. So anyway, these kids are outstanding. And I'm not just saying that because they're my students, but they may not even realize it. But they're a lot of these kids, my students are between the ages of 12 and 17. And you guys, a lot of them are already studying for the SAT at age 12, okay? Not only that, they're studying for the SAT to take in English, which is not even their first and sometimes not even their second language. I could not imagine if I had to take a standardized test in another language. I mean, maybe if my back was against the wall, yeah, maybe, but it amazes me. And so a lot of them, like I said, they're Korean, so they speak Korean is their first language. That's what they're speaking at home, and that's what their family is speaking. And then some of them go to school with other Indonesians, or even if they don't, just by sheer living in Indonesia, they're going to pick up Indonesian. And then they're learning, well, no, these kids know English. I mean, they're learning it enough to pass, these tests. So it's not like they're new to learning English at this point. So they have 3 languages under their belts already. And I'm pretty sure probably some of them also probably speak maybe a little Chinese or, another language, because there are a lot of Chinese immigrants who live here in Indonesia too. So it's amazing, you guys. And so, I got a chance to meet, all the students, and I did a lot of introductory classes and icebreakers, and, was silly and did things to kind of loosen them up and get them to trust me and kind of build a rapport. And it was good. I think I'm going to really enjoy it. And of course, my supervisor, he wanted me to mention that I did some work with President Barack Obama, and my law degree, and some of the work I did with international business when I had the opportunity to go to Hong Kong and Guangzhou, and yeah, it was good. It was good, and mentioned California, because we know California, and then of course, like when I mentioned that that President Barack Obama used to live in Jakarta, their eyes light up, and some of them knew already that he did, and then some of them were like, "Oh my God, he did!" And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, he's from Jakarta. He lived in Jakarta for a few years, and his sister is Indonesian American." So they thought that was really neat, and of course they asked, "Have you ever met Barack Obama?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I met the president." So I'll have to share that picture with them, and so that's great too. And yeah, it's just so interesting how much they know, about America and various things. And so I'll give you more updates about the students and what we're studying and what we're talking about. And I had an opportunity today. It was a huge highlight. Such a gift to speak with an advanced class of students. It's about five boys, and they, according to my supervisor, a few of them are geniuses and just really gifted. And when I say gifted, I mean they're already scoring almost perfect scores on the SAT. Because pretty much these students will start, like this one kid, he's been studying the SAT since seventh grade, and so they just keep on studying each year. They come to these schools in addition to their, their everyday or their standard schooling. They come to the institute and they take additional courses, and they'll just keep taking these SAT prep courses until they get the score they want. And of course, they're shooting for a perfect score. They're shooting to go to Harvard or Stanford or other schools in South Korea or England or Canada, Australia. So it's mind-boggling. I mean, it's amazing to see. So anyway, this class that I taught, they're more advanced. They don't really need basic teaching about SAT and passing the English language test that I think kids have to take in order to get into universities. So my teacher asked me to do my supervisor asked me to give a lecture about Dr. Martin Luther King to this class. So I was like, wow, that's cool. Of course, I'd love to, and everything. And so originally I went to YouTube and I just typed in, teaching Dr. King lesson plans. And, I did get a few ideas of ways to teach it. But then, I thought about it and I said, I'm going to teach this class how I want to teach it. I know enough about Dr. King and the civil rights movement and, being African American and everything. I believe I could put together a really good lecture. So that's what I did. And I started with slavery, and, they had heard of slavery, and, they were a little familiar with it. Excuse me. We talked about, the transatlantic slave trade a little bit. We talked about the Civil War, Jim Crow laws. We talked about Dr. King, his life, when he went to India and Africa, and how Dr. King started studying Gandhi's writings and his work in nonviolent resistance. And we talked about Rosa Parks and the Greensboro lunch counter sit-in and the bus boycotts and the March in Washington. We even touched a little bit on Malcolm X and Black Power movement and Dr. King's assassination, and a little bit just of how the courts, how there wasn't a recourse, a lot of times for Black people in the courts, or we couldn't rely at that time. Not like I was there during that time, but people couldn't rely on law enforcement. It was like this system against them. And I think a lot of people, when they think about racism, they think about it in terms of like people being nasty, behavior, people saying, I don't like you because of the way you look and calling you names, but they're really not thinking about really racism as an institution and how it's infused into the laws and the policies and the justice system and things of that nature. So it was a great discussion, and they had a lot to say too, and I'll talk a little bit about that in the next video. But it was a good day, and I finally feel like, yes, I'm in the right place. And I mean, obviously, I don't think I'm just here to teach about SAT prep per se. I think I'm also here to bring some other kind of message and information to these students and to represent something different, because I don't think they've had an African American woman or even an African American teacher in their life. So it's going to be a great ride. And like I said, we're just 10 days in, and I'd love to share this journey with you. If you have questions, comments, drop them down below. Subscribe to the channel, please, and you'll get all updated videos. And you can always go to the website, mawuangels.com. That's where I'm posting all the blogs, and you can reach us via social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest or Pinterest, and Instagram, and I think in YouTube, of course. So I think that's all of them. So again, you can just go to the website, mawuangels.com, and you can reach our little tribe of sweet, like-minded souls out here to save the world. And I think that's about it. So yeah, I feel like I won the day today with my little lecture. And I'm looking forward to learning more from these students and what they know about. All right, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for listening. Take care.